Hey, my name's Nick with Sunshine State RVs in Gainesville, Florida. We are the #1 Class B RV dealership in the state of Florida. We're #3 in the whole United States of America. And this is not a Class B RV behind me. This is a brand new 2025 Rossmonster Expedition truck. This thing is the best 23-foot Expedition truck I have ever been in. I have looked at a lot of them. I've seen a lot of them. I drove this thing and I had no idea there was a box on the back. You look at it and you're like, this is one of the coolest things you've ever seen. But at 23.5 feet long, 9 foot tall, that's it. Most garages are 9 foot tall. This thing can fit in almost any garage. It can go through parking garages, drive-throughs. When you're driving, you have no clue that you have a true RV behind on top of your chassis. But when you're off-roading, you don't feel it. But when you're camping, it is super comfortable. Tons of lithium. There is a toilet, a tank. There's hot water, cold water, air conditioner, in-floor heating, all different types, a fridge, a stove, a sink, everything you want in an Expedition truck, this Rossmonster Baja has. So in this video, we're gonna go through all of its capabilities. You're gonna see you can take this thing anywhere you like, in the hot, in the cold, up a mountain, down a mountain, in the snow, on the beach. You're gonna see everything this thing's capable of, and you're gonna see how luxurious and how comfortable and how well built it is as well. We just became Rossmonster dealers here within the last week or so, and when they shipped this thing down to us, I was so impressed. Well, actually, they shipped it first, and then we became a dealer because, like I say all the time, I don't put our stamp, our name on anything that I don't personally approve of. Where I meet the people, I check out the product, I drive it, I use it, I turn everything on, ask a million questions. I'm on the phone with the owner of Rossmonster in the van asking, why do you do this? Why don't you do this? Why do you do this? And then once I go through everything, I say, okay, you know what? This is something I can get behind. And Rossmonster is definitely one of the companies that I can get behind. They're locally owned out of Colorado. They make the Baja and the Baja Plus. Baja Plus is a few feet longer, a few feet taller, a little wider, a little, more expensive also. So they give you a little more of everything. But in this Baja here, you'll see at 23.5 feet long, that's from bumper to bumper, they fit a lot in here. So something cool that I really liked about the Baja is that all of this is custom made by Rossmonster. So first off, you ask, the name Rossmonster, what does that even mean, right? Like, is it a monster truck and a guy named Ross built it? Yeah, kinda. I think Ross is the guy's last name, the owner, and monster is like builder in the language that he speaks. I'll get a little clarity and there'll be a little caption telling you exactly what that means. But I thought it was a pretty cool name. It kind of fit what they're doing well. But this is on the F-350 Lariat diesel chassis. All of this is custom made by Rossmonster. So you have some LED lights here. You got all of the original parking sensors from Ford. So if the truck comes with parking sensors, they make sure that you have them on here. So there are LED lights on here. There is a space for a winch. A lot of these Overland trucks are starting to come with winches. It adds a lot of weight and people just don't use them that much. But if you do want a winch, depending on how big of a winch, what kind of winch, we can definitely install a winch. We install them all the time. We can install, it's pre-wired and ready to go for a winch here. But this is a bodyguard front bumper with the bowl, the push bar here with a ton of lights there. There's lights here, there's lights there, and we can add lights anywhere you like. You can see, we can add so many lights, you can see this thing from outer space. I mean, the lighting capability on these Expedition trucks and Overland vehicles, people just go nuts with their lights, which is cool. Which is really cool. Now, this is probably one of the top 3 most impressive things about this whole Baja is the suspension. So I personally drove, so we're building a new RV dealership about a half a mile from here. And right now, all the site work is being done. And so it's like, there's a bunch of culverts and hills and ditches. And so I personally Baja'd all around our new property in this thing the other day. I mean, I was taking turns at 25, 30 miles an hour, jumping over hills of dirt. Everyone's laughing at me. actually, I hope the guys that own this company aren't watching, because we didn't actually buy it yet when I was doing all that. But I had a lot of fun with it, and yeah, it was so cool. Like, this thing drove so smooth, so nice, and this Carly suspension with King off-road shocks. It's a 3.5-inch lift on the pin top suspension. This is, I have personally, driving these expedition trucks, have never felt something so smooth and so absorbing in all of the time that I've been doing this. This is these are 37-inch tires. These are Method, like real Method wheels, which is name brand, not some cheap knockoff, but this has a 6.7 Power Stroke diesel engine. This is the Lariat, which is the high end, but this is a hard top. Now, this is the other thing. I mean, you look at this, you're like, man, can I even stand up in there? Like, how tall is this? So right now it's 9 feet 1 inch. When it goes up, the hard top, it's an actuating hard top. So the hard top actually rises and it raises up to 11 feet on the outside. So when you're driving, you want to be at 9 feet, and that's part of why it's such a great driving machine. And you can drive if you need to move your campsite. You really don't want to drive too far with it. But when it's down at 9 feet, you can drive. My wife's Escalade is about 7 foot tall. So it's only 2 foot taller than a normal SUV, which is crazy. So this is cool. You know, this door has a deadbolt, it has a code lock, and it has a key here. So very safe, very easy. You put the code in and you go in and out. I also love how there's a short door, and then when it's up, there's another half of the door that raises up. So I'll show you more of that in a second. These are your rescue boards. So these are boards that they mount on here, the Max Tracks, they're called. If you do get stuck in something, you put this board underneath, it kind of helps you get out. But like everything in a small RV, it doubles as something else. This doubles as a margarita bar. You can put your little margarita mixer machine and make margaritas. You can put your you know, George Foreman here. You can grill. You can do anything out here. I like, when I camp, I put the awning out and I usually cook breakfast outside of the RV. And so I would put my griddle right here. I would do my eggs, my bacon here. I'd have my coffee maker right here. And my wife would be sleeping inside and I'd be here cooking her a gourmet breakfast, because that's how you stay married for 21 years. You cook your wife a gourmet breakfast while she sleeps. We're not doing marriage tips today, but if you need some more, I'll give them to you. That's one of the best ones though. So this thing is solid. I mean, this thing, that ain't going nowhere. I mean, they build this very strong, very, you can just tell how strong it is. Probably shouldn't have slammed it like that. But the Max Tracks are here. There's 2 of them, so you can use them for both sides. All of these windows are awning style windows, so they do raise out. When you lift it, there are more windows in there, which is pretty cool. So I know you guys are dying to see it lifted. So once we go all the way around, then we'll lift it, lower and raise it, and I'll show you how that works. Okay, something else that's very cool about Rossmonster, as you can tell, they make this themselves. They don't go buy this from somebody else. They custom make all of their boxes and their Molly racks here. So these racks can hold more of these boxes. So you can put 3 boxes on, or you can strap on tents. You can strap on axes or shovels or skis or snowboards or whatever it is, bikes, whatever expeditioning you like to do, wherever you use. The reason you use this, you can strap it on there. This is one of their boxes here. So they custom make this box in their factory. The same thing with this rear bumper. This rear bumper is custom made in their factory by them. So that is one way that they can control everything about it. They can also keep the cost down and they can keep the quality up, which I'm a big fan of, making as much as you can so that way you're not having to outsource a lot of it. But I really like these boxes. I mean, that's a solid. So this is where you'd put anything wet, anything dirty, anything greasy. You would stick it in here. You can mount it on top of here. But very nice, lockable, safe box. You can put 3 boxes. You can put a spare tire. I mean, you can do a lot back here. So there are extra LED lights here. There again, like I mentioned before, the sensors on the bumper are here as well. There's a camera. Here's your little camera here, so you can move that camera around. And you know, people get a little crazy with their cameras too. You know, there's all these different types of cameras you can mount and put here. But hey, so I really love how they put everything on this side of the van and not the other side, because this here is the outside shower. So what you would do is you just grab your outside shower, put it in there, twist it, and now you have hot and cold water. I won't press it because it might actually get my camera guy a little wet, but hot and cold water. Here you can shower yourself, you can clean your feet off, clean your bike, clean your dog, whatever it is you're doing, your surfboard, your skis. This has the hot and cold water access to be able to do that, which is really nice. And then when you're done with it, obviously you just kind of twist it off and you store it in your box back here. That's perfect. I also like that it's not on the camping side, so you don't get everything all wet over there, because that's where you let the awning out and you want to camp and hang out there. You also have, this is where you fill your potable water tank. It is a 40-gallon tank, and that is where you would fill it there. And then they have a smart plug, which if you've ever watched one of my videos, you know how much I love these. They're so practical. If you buy an RV from Sunshine State RVs, we are in Gainesville, we will deliver it for free to your house. So anywhere you live, we will deliver it for free to you, or we'll fly you here to Gainesville, pick you up at the airport, bring you to the dealership, and teach you how to use the RV. Everything in it, from top to bottom, front to back. It'll be much better teaching than I'm doing right now, because somebody named Corey, who's very patient and very knowledgeable, will be the one teaching you, not me. So what he'll teach you is, you take your smart plug, you stick it in, and then now it's in there. And it's very important to make good contact with this, so that way you don't have any arcing or any electrical issues. But what else is nice is that this is stuck in there. It's not just gonna fall out and lose power or mess up your system. The only way it's gonna come out is by clipping both sides and pulling it very easily. So this is a great way to learn. And then, you know, something else cool when you buy from us, we teach you how to use it, then we put you up for the first 2 nights at a local campground. So that way you can test everything that we just taught you for the first 2 nights that you own it. Now, if you buy one of these, you might not want to go to a campground. We'll find some cool secluded area for you to go camp in Baja and off-road, and maybe the Ocala National Forest or something, and you can put everything to a real test while you're here in Gainesville before you head home. Because when you go home, I want 2 things. I want you to know how to use everything. I want you to know that everything works. Even after you buy it, we guarantee service appointments within 5 days. We give unlimited tech support over the phone. And if you're within 100 or so miles of us, we even go pick your RV up, bring it back to the dealership, fix it, and deliver it again. So that's my little shameless plug for Sunshine State RVs right there. The rest of this video is about this Rossmonster Baja. So as we're still going, you do have awning style windows again. Like I said, when we lift this up, there'll be more windows. Nice, big, tough wheels. They do beef up the suspension in the back as well. It's not just the front, so you really feel when you're driving. I'm telling you, I would love, if you have any interest in something like this, you have got to come to Gainesville and drive one of these. Impressed is not the word. I don't know, I loaded up 5 of my guys, or 5 of us total, 3 guys in the back seat, 2 of us were in the front, and we drove this thing for about 20 minutes. They got out, they were like, that is the best driving expedition truck. For the size and the height and the width, this is the best driving thing like this that I've ever been in. You do have your diesel fuel tank along with your DEF right here, so it does make it very easy to do both. You know, I did mention that it does have the leather, so this has everything that a Lariat comes with. So you got leather, power seats, heated seats, upgraded sound system, your big navigation, your adaptive cruise, all your cameras, everything is built into this Lariat. I just looked if there's a sunroof. Where would you? There'd be no sun to look at, so sunroof's a little unnecessary. But everything built into the Lariat. This is the top of the line for a Ford F-350 Lariat diesel pickup truck. So as we keep walking, it's beautiful, right? So there's a lot of different colors you can pick from. You can pick, I mean, there are some customizations. There's not a ton of them, but we can upgrade anything that you want to upgrade, anything that you want more of. We have the capability of doing at Sunshine State RVs. So this top takes about 40 seconds to go up and down. It's very easy. So you open the door, and make sure the power's on. So you turn the power on here and you press a button right here. And there's a number on here, 1 to 15. When it gets to 15, it's all the way up. Okay, and just like that, within 40 seconds, this top is all the way up, fully campable. So now you notice we had 1 window here. Now we have 3 windows, and they're all awning style windows. So you increase the size, you increase the sunlight and the skylight when you raise the top. So within those 40 seconds, probably took you 5 seconds to watch it. Those 40 seconds, this top goes from up to down that quick. I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna lower it again so you can see what it looks like when we walk in and it lowered. So I'm gonna show you what it looks like with the top all the way down. So this is 9 feet, 1 inch on the outside, and I'm 6 foot tall. I can't stand up completely, but if I'm just pulling over real quick and I wanna grab something out of the fridge, I can just walk in, grab it, jump right out, no problem. My wife is 5'2", and she can fit everywhere in here, even with the top down. So if I need to get in the bathroom for a second, if I needed to, you know, my kids, I got 4 kids, and they always forget things, and they're always asking, oh, daddy, where's this, where's that? If I forgot something here, I can grab it without having to raise it, without having to lower it. The other cool thing is that you can sit on this couch and use that table. You can even pull over, take a quick nap with the top down. So you can really get a feel for, it is about 5'4". I'm 6 foot tall, so I'm having a scrunch, but it's just real quick. So like if you just want to jump in and just sit for a minute and just hang out, lay down, and hang, without having to raise the top with keeping it down, I can comfortably sit here. I can, you know, if I needed to get some work done, I can finagle this around. I can eat something without having to raise it. But once you raise it, it is like a world of a difference. So with it going up, it takes about 40 seconds, and you notice it turns it into something that's like the house of hobbits. It turns it into like a big mansion. So it is a world of a difference. You get more skylight, more windows. Without just the 2 windows, now you get 2 extra windows on both sides. You also get the ability to stand up and lots of storage. I love how they have done some of this decorative kind of what do they call it, topography. So there you go. So now it's all the way up, and I am 6 foot tall, and I can stand in here perfect. I can walk around. Lots of space in here with this top up, which is really nice. And this is how, if you're camping, this is how you would have it when you're camping like this. So there is a big lithium system. There's 1,200 amp hours of lithium batteries with a 3,000 watt inverter. There is 600 watts of solar on the roof, and everything is controlled through this Victron thing right here. So this Victron meter shows us how much the batteries, what the percentage are at. I mean, we have 84 hours of runtime with what's on right now. Now it's only lights and a fridge, but you can see through this Victron. There's also an app on your phone that you pull out, and it can show you all of the same stuff on your app. This is the heater. So the heater is a floor heater that runs off of the burner of the diesel engine. So it uses the same fuel that is in your diesel tank. So you don't have to go get propane or some other type of fuel. And if you need, it can also be ran off electric. Maybe if you're plugged in, I would probably do that, but it'll kill your lithium battery pretty quickly if you use it on that. But the Agua Hot is a great system that runs off of the fuel that's in here. So you got the Victron lithium system with, like I said, the lithium batteries, solar, 3,000 watt inverter. Everything in this coach can be powered through the lithium batteries. So you do have a microwave here, nice little small microwave. You do have tons of cabinets. So there's more plugs, obviously, so you can plug more stuff in. But if you look, I mean, everything in here, this is all super high quality. And I like how all of the grain kind of goes together. Like, it's not all mismatched. Like, you can tell whoever made this really cared about the way that it kind of flowed together. The same thing here, it all kind of goes together. So you have nice big storage compartments here, nice big storage compartments there overhead, and then more storage. So more storage and more. I've already opened this one, but you can tell lots of storage here. People put different dividers in here and different things, depending on how organized you are. Some people just throw a bunch of junk in there, and other people have it very, very organized. So I'm standing on a ledge, and I still fit in here, which is pretty impressive, being that this is a 23-foot expedition truck. So one of the cool things about this layout is this big U-shaped lounge back here. So the U-shaped lounge gives you lots of light, lots of windows, and just a very comfortable area to hang out. Like I said earlier, I have 4 kids, 20 years old, 18, My daughter turns 16 next week. Watch out, guys, she's driving. And 14. So 20, 18, 16, and 14. So if I brought all 4 of my kids in here, being that this is a 4-door F-350 Lariat pickup truck, they all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they could not all fit up there. I could fit 3 in the back and 2 in the front, and I'd have to fit me, my wife, and 3 kids there. 1 kid would have to be back here. But if I took 2 of them that are still living at home, the 16 and 14-year-old, they could sit up there, and we could all be hanging out here, you know, sitting here, having a good time. There's a lot of space here. And then these windows, this is like, I really like how these windows are awning style back here. So you can open them up and you can, you know, feel fresh air, have skylight. You're up off the ground. So whatever's out there can't jump up and get you. But I really like how you're elevated and you have a lot of light back here and the windows. That is one nice thing. When you're using these, you definitely want to be able to be out in nature and enjoying God's creation. And so you even have a really big one here behind you. This does also double as a bed. So what you would do is you would drop this down here, this lagoon table, you would drop it right here, and then you'd put these cushions and it makes into a nice big bed. As we're kind of walking, so this is I guess you call it your kitchen area. Not everybody cooks in the RV. Sometimes people cook outside. Sometimes they cook inside. My wife typically makes me cook outside the RV, but this is the sink. This is the double induction stove. I love the way this looks. I mean, look at this thing. This is like a super modern, hot, cold water, nice, deep. So you can see how deep it is, how big it is, nice, deep sink. So most people will store things in here while they're camping. And then when they need to use them, pull them out. But I like, you know, it brings you a cutting board and nice cabinet here. There is more storage under here to store some stuff. And there's another outlet there. So if you needed to plug something in, you could plug it in there as well. On this side, you have your double induction stove. But there again, if you're not gonna cook, you have it all for countertop. You have it all to put a coffee maker, a panini press. My wife loves panini, so you know she'd make a sandwich and do the little grilled cheese panini press. And then you have an isotherm, which is top of the line refrigerator for RVs. You have an isotherm fridge and freezer. Is that a freezer too? Let's see. Yeah, there's a little ice box in there. So fridge and freezer combo. The fridge is definitely bigger than the freezer. And then you have more storage here. And you have a nice big drawer here. So I like the look and feel of everything, right? So what makes this floor plan different? This is the LX floor plan. What makes this one different is that this has a bathroom. So the EX floor plan does not have the dedicated bathroom. It just has a cabinet that has a composting toilet that comes out of it. This one has a full-size bathroom. So if you look, this is the full-size bathroom here. So we got the curtain. I'll just move the curtain out of the way so you can see it. So full-size bathroom here. When I walk in, I can stand up nice and tall in it. It has nice teak flooring. And then I can sit as well. I can use the bathroom here. This is also a composting toilet. And then I can also shower. So you have hot and cold water. And you know what? For a bigger guy like me, what I would do is I would actually move the toilet out, because like I said, it's a composting toilet. I'd move it out and I would use the shower head here and I would shower in here without the toilet in here. And that is one of the things about the composting toilet, that you can move it, you can leave it here, you can put it outside. There is the shower curtain, there is a light in here, which is nice. There's also areas that you can, you can put the string, you can hang your towels in here. But I like that there's enough room. Remember, we're in a 23-foot expedition truck. So a 23-foot expedition truck having this much room in it is pretty neat. And that is only 9 foot tall. So, given the specifications and measurements, I think everything is, you can feel that there's a lot of room. This is the Firefly here. So Firefly is a pretty typical system that most RVs use. So here's your on and off switch. It shows your fresh and your gray. So fresh is 40 gallons. The gray, there is also a gray tank. The gray tank does your sink and it does your shower. So everything that drains from your sink and shower drains into the gray tank. It shows you your battery. You can control each light independently. You can also come here, control the water pump in the fridge, and then obviously you have your settings here where you can control everything. So Firefly is a really great system that is pretty universal on most RVs that have it. There is an app on the phone, you can control everything as well. So next we're gonna jump into the bed. You in good position for me to jump in the bed? Okay, so there is a ladder right here, and this thing is pretty sturdy. I like to use this actuator here, and then there we go. So now I am in the bed. So this is, let's see, I'm 6 foot tall and I can fit perfectly in the bed. My feet are touching here. I got space here, so if I had a pillow, I'd be fine. They do give you little reading lights. There you go. Perfect, little reading lights. There's a skylight up here that you can open up while you're sleeping to get some fresh air. You can also close it if you want it to be dark and turn the light off. So totally depends on how you like sleeping. I can tell you right now, when my wife sleeps, this thing has to be shut, locked, and double checked with it closed, because she would think like a hawk would come diving into our RV and attack us, or an eagle or something. Yes, so this is pretty cool though if you want it, you know. And then there's also more storage here. So this is all extra storage back here that goes through that and that. So lots of storage up here. This is for stuff that you probably don't use as much. That's, you know, I like how they kind of close it off to where you can just get to it if you need, and if you don't need, you just kind of keep it in there. Maybe that's your cold weather gear. That's things that you're not going to use that much. You keep it in there. There are some windows here as well. So you have a window here and window there. So you can open that, get some fresh air. But this is a really, man, this is a comfortable bed. I can already tell just by laying in it for a minute that it's really comfortable. When the roof is lowered, you cannot access the bed. So everything is gonna be, everything on the bed is gonna be unaccessible when it's lower. But when it is raised, let's see if I can do this gracefully. There we go, I did it. So really like the bed area up here. So you can tell this is a nice big bed there. And you know what? Some people might use this for storage and just sleep back there. This would be a nice storage area if you did that. You know, and this is the beautiful thing about RVs or expedition trucks or overlanding. Everyone is so different. Everyone uses them differently. They go different places, and everything is so different that you can figure out a way to have this fit for what you want. So, oh, check this out. See, every time I look around. So now we have, I mean, this is about 5 foot. So you got your double induction, cooktop here, you got counter space here and counter space here. So pretty cool how they give you the ability to do a lot of different things. So my kids, if I forgot something or if they want to crawl back and forth, all they have to do is unzip those two things, raise this up just like this, and now you have very easy access from the front to the back to where, look at this. Now you can climb in the front to the back. So this is where the two sit there, and there's easy passage back and forth. So I can definitely see my 14-year-old son crawling back here, sitting here, getting an Uncrustable. They don't even make sandwiches anymore. They eat Uncrustables now. Getting an Uncrustable, coming back here, sitting, coming back. Daddy, I forgot something, and just going back and forth. So this is a great way to go back and forth without having to get out of the truck. You know, Rossmonster is made in Colorado. I mean, lots of cool things. We were just getting started with them. I'm sure I missed a lot. I'm sure there's a lot of cool things. I wanted to give you kind of my first look of what I thought of it and the way that I think that people would use it. You know, some of my first impressions is I love the lighting in here. I like the design of it. I love that when the roof is down, it's only 9 feet tall. I love how they make the bumpers and the boxes and all that stuff themselves. I love the Carly suspension with the King shocks and just the ride. I'm telling you, the thing that stuck out to me most when I saw it was not only the 9 foot, was the ride. The ride is so stinking great. Like, you will be so impressed if you drive this. Like, I couldn't get over how easy it was to drive, how easy it was to maneuver. I didn't feel like I was taking a bus around. Like, I really felt like I was just driving a pickup truck. So we have lots of expedition trucks at Sunshine State RVs, and this is one of them. For the size and the price range, this is by itself. So we have the Hilt and the Next, which are bigger, and then we have the Midwest FD2 Overland, we have the Revel, we have the Storyteller Beast modes and the Classic mode. We have a lot of overlanding vans that are smaller, but this is right in the middle. So you got Baby Bear, Mama Bear, Papa Bear. This would be what I would call Mama Bear, right in the middle of all of the sizes. And I think for what it is, for the price point, for the capability, the size, everything else, I think if you're looking for something that you can put in a normal garage, it's 23 feet long, that has this capability, you cannot go wrong with this Rossmonster. So I'm a big fan of them, and I hope after watching this video, you're a fan of Sunshine State RVs in Gainesville, Florida, and you're a fan of Rossmonster. Thank you.